Good morning, guys, and welcome to a new day in the life of Lilia. It's very weird talking about yourself in third person, so let's not continue that throughout this vlog.
I do that all the time. I talk about myself because I have so much to learn that I can call myself like little Mia. Mia, come on now. It's I'm telling myself I'm giving advices to myself.
I feel like it's more like me being a persona or something rather than a real person if I'm like calling myself
Lilia.
Okay,
that's a good way to see it. Yeah. But also it's like you're teaching yourself something.
Yeah. Well, right. Say hi to Mia. We are getting ready to go to Venice. Right now it's actually not morning. I kind of lied about that. It's already 2 p.m. That's because we spent the whole day shooting pictures and creating content. I did a lot of emails today because my inbox is looking pretty clean, which is honestly one of the best feelings ever. I feel like whenever I have a lot of emails, it's just like a pressure, like a weight on my shoulders. Like there are people waiting on my response and I can't deal with it because, yeah, I want to be responsive. But with that being said, I cleared a lot of my emails. Now it is time to go to Venice. We're going to discover it because we haven't been there yet. So, yay! Come with us.
What's in Venice? What do you expect from it?
I think there are a lot of cute cafes. Like there's one cafe I really want to go to that's called the Great White, I think it's called. Oh. And it's kind of like more of a hipstery vibe. Mm-hmm. So that is cool. And Abbots Kinney, they have one restaurant which is called The Butcher's Daughter, which is really good. It's a vegetarian. I don't think it's only vegetarian. No, maybe it's only vegetarian. Yeah, it's only vegetarian. And it's really good. They have really good pizza, really good brunch. I've been there already 2 times.
We will bring you guys along with us. So come along.
Yeah.
You didn't really like yours that much. I like mine now that I finished it. You do? Yeah, mine was good. Lilia's was what was yours?
Beetroots and I think lavender. You didn't like it. I liked it. But I'm Russian.
Root based.
Yeah, I like beetroots.
The ground.
Well, as a Russian person, I love everything beet, so I liked it.
Coffee, but I love your car.
I hope this is not a crime, but I want this lemon. Fresh lemons, only in LA. As you guys can see, I am back home again. Mia's not here. She went to a hot yoga class and I didn't join her because I can't do hot yoga because I have low blood pressure and I am very prone to fainting when the temperatures are really hot. I don't know if you could hear that, but that was my stomach. I need to eat something. Anyway, I'm very prone to fainting when it's hot and I'm working out at the same time. So I love doing yoga, but not hot yoga. I'm kind of happy that I am by myself right now. Because, yeah, I need to get something off my chest. Something that happened yesterday and it's been something I've been struggling with ever since 2019 began. And I think I talked a little bit about it in one of my earlier LA vlogs, but I'm not sure if I posted that or not. A lot of you guys know that I have been in a relationship. I've been in that relationship for about a year. Yesterday it would have been exactly 11 months since the first time I met my boyfriend. I definitely shared with you guys that I was dating someone, and then it became official, and I shared that too. But I never showed my boyfriend, and I kept that part of my life quite private. And I did that on the one hand because the first time I had a relationship on YouTube, I was a little bit more open about it, and that relationship ended up being horrible. I've talked about that, about my experience. In short, the guy was a compulsive liar, and I wrote a whole blog post about it. It's like a 3,000 word essay that I will link in the description box down below. So that was the last time and the first time that I kind of shared my boyfriend publicly on the internet. So I was a little bit more cautious this time. However, it was mostly my boyfriend that didn't want to be on my social media and didn't want to be on my YouTube, which, I mean, I totally respect that decision. But not gonna lie, sometimes it was hard for me because I feel like social media is such a big part of my life, and I am also such a workaholic. For me, it's kind of hard to have a very strict work-life balance. I think it's something that everyone that has their own business is prone to. My mom is honestly the same. She can work until like, I don't know, 1 a.m. at night. But if you're on social media, it's even more because you literally put out your life on the internet. So it's really hard to set like very harsh boundaries of like, okay, this is not going on the internet, because if it is a big part of your life, you kind of want to share it. Not necessarily because it's like content that I need to put out, but more because so many of you guys are such beautiful and nice people and so supportive. I especially noticed that recently with all the things that's been going on in my life, and I see you guys as my online friends, and I want to share my happy moments with you guys and my sad moments with you guys. So being kind of forced to hide such a big part of my life was kind of difficult. That became even more difficult because my relationship wasn't doing great, and sometimes I would feel so down, and I would have been crying because I was in a fight with my boyfriend, and I still had to edit, I still had to film, and it felt just so fake that, you know, I had this like picture of being in a really good and healthy and supportive relationship while I was actually really unhappy in the relationship that I was in. And I kind of wanted to share that because I feel like it's a part of life. You know, I don't want to be perceived as perfect in any type of way. Aspirational, that's great, but I also want to be real with you guys, and if my relationship is not going well, I wanted to be able to talk about it, but I felt like I couldn't because I felt like me and my boyfriend became more distant and distant towards each other. I don't want to talk negative about people in general because, you know, I feel like every person has good and bad sides, and I definitely think I learned a lot in my relationship, and I definitely still think very highly of my boyfriends. But what I realized was that we were just two very different people, and that I really felt like I was being held back by my relationship rather than supported and motivated to chase my dreams. And whenever I would get questions from you guys asking me about how can you combine a relationship with being an independent woman, or if I would get questions like more recently about how I would do long distance. Mia's coming home. Hey girl, I'm filming. So 1 sec. Whenever I would get questions from you guys about those things, the only thing that I wanted to answer was I don't know, because it's not working in my relationship either, and I can't give you guys any tips because I'm probably not even going to try to do long distance because my relationship is not gonna survive that. So, since my extended stay in LA was very spontaneous, I felt like I kind of needed to chill for a bit and, not make any drastic decisions until I would return back to DC, because I did buy a ticket to go back to DC May 7th. Before I would make any, decisions I would regret. But the longer I was in LA, the more things became clear for me. And there were two things that were becoming very clear to me. First of all, I realized that I didn't want to move back to DC. And if I would stay in the US, I needed to move to LA because I felt like it was just the right place for me to be here. If any of you guys watched my last or first LA vlog, you guys know that I didn't have a good, perception of LA at all. I didn't like it. Now that I'm here for the second time, way more chill and with less high expectations, I kind of started to like LA, and it's growing on me. And even aside from that, I just have this strong feeling that I need to be in this city, like a sense of belonging right now here. Exactly the same feeling I had when I moved to DC. I just felt like, no, I don't need to be in the Netherlands right now. I need to be in DC. And I felt the same thing now in LA. So that was to me very clear, that I needed to move to LA. And the second thing that became kind of clear to me too is that I needed to end my relationship. And that is what happened yesterday. Crazy fact is actually that I didn't start this conversation, but my, now I can say, ex-boyfriend did. And it was a very mutual breakup, very fast breakup, and kind of weird considering the fact that we were almost together for 12 months, and that, that is gone now. And I definitely mourn that, but I do feel like my past relationship, I was very happy to be in it because I'm a type of girl that loves being in relationships. I know it sounds bad, but just don't like dating. I don't necessarily enjoy the single life. So I was so happy that after 2 years and a very, very horrible previous relationship, I finally found a good person. But when I got into this relationship, and after I think like 6 months, I realized that even if the person is a good person, trustworthy, has some things that you can check off your love list or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good relationship. And that's definitely how I felt. And now that I'm single again, I'm actually kind of happy because I feel like I was so held back by my relationship, and now I feel like I have some less things to worry about, if that makes sense, because aside from my visa and the move, I was really stressed about my relationship too. And now that that is gone, I don't have any expectations. I'm not waiting on him texting me or anything like that. I feel like I can breathe at least a little bit more. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys. This is again very personal, but I guess ever since I moved to LA, there's a lot of personal stuff going on, and I feel maybe obliged is not a good word, but I just want to share things like this with you guys because I feel like it's very human and we all go through this. And if this is kind of relatable to you in any way, I hope you feel less alone because, we humans can get lonely sometimes. I am now also going to write a blog post about this because I write to process things, and I wrote, I think, a blog post about every breakup I had. And yeah, it's time to add another one to the list. But I feel very relieved and calm, definitely sad, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing definitely okay. And yeah. Oh yeah, I kind of dropped the bomb that I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to room with Mia, which is also very interesting because I only had one roommate before for a year, and it was a horrible experience, but she was a bitch and I didn't know her. And Mia is amazing, and we are in the same industry. You know, we are just like such a good team. So I'm really excited to move in together, but I'm also a little bit nervous about it because I've always been used to my own space ever since I was 20. So being now 24 and moving in with someone kind of feels like a step backward, but you know, the good thing is that I'm saving like $1,000 a month on rent, which is great. Everything is kind of a little bit uncertain because we're first going to go back to DC. We're also going to do some traveling, and by that time I think we're gonna start looking for apartments in LA. So yeah, now you guys are updated with everything that's been going on in my life. I literally feel like it's a roller coaster, so I hope it was at least somewhat entertaining to listen to. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to write my blog post because I feel like I'm in the right mindset to do it. You know